2.
Guys, Black Scout Survival, Late Night Live. Thanks for tuning in. So, breaking news, Julian Assange, the founder of WikiLeaks, has pled guilty to a single felony count of illegally disseminating national security material in exchange for his release from a British prison, ending his long send-off with the United States. He's apparently already been released, but isn't it odd that this comes just 1 week after Donald Trump said that he would pardon him, right? Very, very, very odd. So, I think Biden saw the moment that he's trying to, maybe win some polls. I think they're still trying to play that angle that Joe Biden will be the president. The backup is going to be Michelle Obama, maybe World War III being imminent, and go ahead and kick that off so that way we can just be in World War III and stop elections, kind of like what they did in Ukraine, where Zelensky on May 20th was supposed to be up for re-election, but they just canceled elections because of war, right? Now, I want to show you something. Chuck Schumer said the quiet part out loud today. He says our ultimate goal is to give every illegal alien citizenship. So what that means is the open borders by design. Democrats want to remake the electorate and replace American culture. That's the end game here. So check him out.
More than ever, we're short of workers. We have a population.
Are we really short of workers, though? No.
That is not reproducing it on its own with the same.
Well, you're not reproducing because you are pushing an agenda that stops that.
Level that it used to. The only way we're going to have a great future in America is if we welcome and embrace immigrants, the dreamers, and all of them, because our ultimate goal is to help the dreamers, but get a path to citizenship for all 11 million or however many undocumented there are here.
Yeah, he said it. They want to get citizenship for all 11 million that came across. Yeah, just give it to them because they want to change the system, right? They want Democrat forever, socialism, communism. This is the way it's all by design. Did you guys see this tragedy, speaking about not reproducing? Baby girl who passed away from being left in the back of a hot car for hours in San Diego, just 2 months after being adopted by a gay couple. Horrific, horrible. Anyway, terrible news. I just wanted to share that in case you hadn't heard it. But let's get to the meat and potatoes of tonight. Did you guys obviously probably heard that Russia said the strike on Sunday was carried out with a U.S. supplied ATACMS or ATACMS, the MGM-140 Army Tactical Missile System loaded with cluster warhead. Local Moscow officials said the missile hit in an area in the port city of sandy beaches and hotels. And you can see the video. I don't want to play it because the YouTube won't like it. But this is in the area here that the strike happened. And yes, that lady's clothes. It's just because this is a blurry picture. But the missile hit into freaking a sandy beach and hotel area. Russia said that 82 people, including 27 children, were hospitalized with injuries from the strike. Now, Russia's Ministry of Defense said its air defense system had intercepted one of the 5 missiles and that were fired by Ukraine at Crimea. So now the Kremlin on Monday warned that the United States of consequences and summoned its ambassador after Moscow said the Ukrainian strike killed 4 people. So 2 of those victims were children that passed away. Dmitry Peskov from the Kremlin said that the strike was barbaric and accused Washington of murdering Russian children. So the involvement of the U.S. and he says direct involvement, as a result which Russian civilians are killed, cannot be without consequences. And he told that to reporters today. And this is the language they're using. They're saying it cannot be without consequences. So obviously, if you supply the baseball bat that hits, that you get hit, if your buddies supply a baseball bat to your other buddy who you fight with and hits you with a baseball bat, your buddy is the one who's at fault, right? We're talking about redneck math here. So Russia threatens consequences for missile strike. What exactly? Time will tell, they say. Now, they summoned the U.S. envoy Lynn Tracy immediately and issued a statement saying that Washington bears equal responsibility just as much as Ukraine for this atrocity. And the strike will not go unpunished. These are direct quotes. The strike will not go unpunished. Now, the other thing is Zelensky put out a video today begging for more long-range ballistic missiles because he wants to escalate this. He's a pawn in this. He's wanting to escalate this further. And just like all the other warmongers, and it's also a play in case they need to use World War III to stop this November election cycle, right? Now, the other big news with this is that Russia has been speaking about changing its nuclear doctrine. They're saying that essentially, and I'm going to break this down into redneck terms for you, is that they can escalate to de-escalate, essentially a first strike policy, meaning that they would do a preemptive attack of mass destruction to stop an enemy and make them submit. This is a preemptive strike, so an offensive strike, basically to escalate to de-escalate. Now, the media is saying that it's a MAGA thing, that we're upset that America supplied the weapons and that Russian civilians were killed. Now, just in my opinion, just keep civilians and children off the game board, guys, right? We should not be attacking civilians and children. This is something Obama does. Obama murdered children and civilians with drone strikes right and left. That was the name of his game. But they're blaming literally MAGA for this. Let me show you real quick. MAGA slams Ukraine's strike on Crimea, saying World War III is in overdrive. And of course it is. The thing is, guys, I'm telling you right now, we are in World War III. They just have not announced it. They don't announce it till after the fact. They don't, when World War II started, they're like, okay, we're at World War II. It already started beforehand. We are in the midst of it. Right-wing American activists had sided with Russia amid reports that several people, including children, were killed and U.S. supplied Ukrainian missiles were shut down. So you hear this. Right-wing American activists have sided with Russia. What living, breathing human being is okay with, I guess, Democrats? They're okay with children, civilians being attacked, right? Now, the other thing is that along with this missile strike, there was a terror plot. More than 15 policemen and I think 4 civilians at this point, 3 or 4 civilians were killed in South Russia's Dagestan, as authorities say gunmen used foreign-made weapons and were likely to be trained, guess what, outside of Russia. So I've got an ex-American intel officer, Scott Ritter, who's saying this is an attack against Russia and has all the hallmarks of Western involvement. This is a guy who's in the know that would know these sort of things. So here we go.
A Ukrainian attack on Sevastopol using U.S. supplied ATACMS missiles. And the second, a terrorist attack in Dagestan that appears to have all the hallmarks of Western involvement. Let there be no doubt, these are 2 direct attacks against Russia by proxies of the United States and of NATO. And It's more than just a proxy engagement, given the necessity of preparation, intelligence support, etc. This is a direct attack on Russia by the United States, by NATO, and by non-NATO European entities. All of the parties that have made a decision in the last several days and weeks to expand the scope and scale of their participation in the Ukrainian-Russian conflict.
Yeah, a lot of people are saying this, not just him, but because of his background, I thought it would be good to show. Now, one of the biggest pieces of news that I think no one pays attention to, and that's why you come to this channel, because I tell you things that you're not going to hear other places. Check this out. In the Marine Corps, we have Marine Expeditionary Units, and they're special operations capable units, right? And so they're always out on their own rotation, and they get pre-placed in places around the globe. Basically, it's you have the Navy, the ARG, the Amphibious Readiness Group. You have Marines from Battalion Landing Team, which is the infantry. You have pilots. You have fighter pilots. You have pretty much everything. You have subs. You have Navy SEALs. You have everything in this group, right? Now, the 24th Marine Expeditionary Unit is currently out. During my time, I was with the 26th Marine Expeditionary Unit, and basically you're sitting, waiting to go. Anytime something happens, they send you. You're America's 911. They're usually the first people on the ground. When Scott O'Grady crashed, the 24th MEU, I'm pretty sure it was, went to go get him. It was the 22nd or 24th, right? And so they're highly trained Marines. They are on a training cycle, and they were always on go mode, right? I think they're self-sustained force, so they can be, I think, pretty much almost anywhere in like 72 hours in their self-sustaining force. So they can survive on their own as the group, right? And usually people do two deployment rotations with them, but it was a great time whenever I was with them. A lot of good training, a lot of good experience. But anyway, the 24th MEU is out right now. Look at this. This is from their Instagram page. Recon Marines with the Maritime Special Purpose Force 24th MUSOC, which is Marine Expeditionary Unit Special Operations Capable, conduct combat rubber reconnaissance craft training during Baltic operations, BALTOPS 24. Now, this BALTOPS is a maritime focus exercise in the Baltic region. Okay, so this is something that they had already planned. However, I want you to look at where they're at. They're in Poland, right? In Poland. That's Poland, green, and then there's Ukraine. So we have the 24th MEU planned to be at right now at Ukraine. Isn't that odd? Now, they are always going to send the MEU first. That's why they're sitting and waiting, okay? And someone said Rangers lead the way. Where are you? Rangers lead the way. Rangers do lead the way, my friend. I love Army Rangers. I've trained with them, been with them, great guys. However, the MEU is always usually first because they're just sitting and waiting. They're waiting to go. So now we are sitting here with the 24th MEU in Poland doing operations. Now, you may think, oh, that's nothing. I think that's something. Okay, that's something. Amidst everything that's going on in the world, I think that's something. The other thing is that the 6th Fleet Command Ship is, guess what, where? Denmark. Usually the MEU stays around the Mediterranean, okay, into that middle section there, right? Not all the way up top here. Now, you could say, oh, they're doing BALTOPS. I think it's all by design, to be honest with you. I think this time frame, so the USS Wasp has the Battalion Landing Team, which is the Marine Corps Infantry, Recon, all that sort of good stuff. The USS Mount Whitney is the 6th Fleet Command Ship, okay? Now, you could say all this is by happenstance. I don't really believe it. I don't really believe it. So Pay attention. Pay attention to this movement. If I were you, I would be tracking these guys, and I will track these guys and keep them this updated for you. I know guys in the unit. So keep track of the 24th Marine Extras unit, because if something pops off, they will be a critical component in what's happening right now. Anyway, we're knocking on the door. Like I said, I believe we're already in World War III. It's not going to be like World War II. It's not going to be like Red Dawn. It's not going to be like what you think. All these food plants getting burned, all these attacks on our systems. I'm hearing even our GMRSs went down in places. 911's going down. Hospitals are having problems. You heard car dealerships are having problems. These are attack on our systems, on our infrastructure. And some of these are probably just sampling, testing the waters to see what they are really capable of doing. And we have obviously the proxy war that is part of this that's happening. So I think we're already there. The new draft setup they're doing, where they're allowing illegal immigrants to be in it. They're changing the date to automatic enrollment, 18 to 26 years old. They're all talking about adding females to that. Guys, this is all by design. But I wanted to share this information. I did want to share another thing too, because I actually work for a living. I'll actually work. I've said this before, but a lot of people don't know that. I think I just mess around on YouTube. But I actually work for a living, by the way. Anyway, the other day I was working and I had to climb up to the top of this building to show one of my supervisors that worked for me something. And I had got something in my eye. And my eye got so infected, this one right here. You might have been able to see it in other videos because I had like a pouch of stuff down here. It got so infected, it was like swelled shut on Saturday. And so luckily, I have a Jase Medical kit. I promoted Jase Medical for grid down situations, but it doesn't always have to be grid down, right? I didn't want to go to the emergency room for something like that because I'd be there for 8, 10, 12 hours waiting, right, to be seen. It's not a critical emergency. I'm not bleeding out. So anyway, I looked in the book. I seen you got the most 5 serious antibiotics, and you can do add-ons. You can do add-ons for personal medication, blood pressure, diabetes, all that kind of stuff now as well. But what I did is I looked in the book. I saw, Cipro, which is one of the antibiotics they have, treats this type of infection. I started taking it, went away. Didn't have to pay for a doctor's visit. Didn't have to go to the emergency room. Fixed the problem. Okay. This is why I talk about being prepared. It's not always about World War III. It's not always about grid down scenarios. It's about freaking everyday life. The investment of that, the small, cheap investment of that saved me tons of time because I don't have time because like I said, I work for a living. I work full time at Black Scout as well. So I don't have time to be fooling around. I have a family. I don't have time to be fooling around. I don't have time to waste. Time is more important than money to me. So anyway, Jase Medical, first time I've used it, the thing is they give you an abundance of medications, okay? So the Cipro, I have tons left. Like I didn't use it all. You get an abundance of it. So I'm going to have it for the next time something like that happens. But the thing is that I've had it for like 4 years now, I think. Work fine. So I'm going to put a link because I thought about it. Real world injuries, you know what I mean? Something like this. And I can fix it myself. Guys, I'm all about being prepared, self-preservation at all times. When you don't have to rely on anyone, okay? That's the way you need to live. That's true freedom, and that's what our American values are about. Let me see some of these guys here. S-Freak, keep up the good work. Thank you, my friend. I appreciate that, man. I'm one of your favorite YouTubers. I appreciate that. I love to hear that kind of stuff. Thank you so much. Mike, good question, Mike. That's right. Jay Coulter, thanks, man. State-sponsored terrorism, right? Exactly. Indio, thanks, man. You're in South Central LA. Man, you better stay strapped, bro. You better stay strapped. Deb, thank you. It's all by design. You got your camo hammock and fire starter stick. Thank you. Love the hammock. Good. Yeah, we spent a lot of time on the redesign of that. I wanted to make it more lightweight than the previous edition. and a more true to M81 camouflage, so it can be more stealthy in the wilderness. If you don't have one of those, make sure you go pick one of those up at blackscoutsurvival.com. By the way, Larry says, keep preaching. Thanks, man. You guys are training. The Texas tribe is training. The Texas tribe is locked on down there. I'll tell you that. They're always training, staying prepared. The thing is a lot of people will get into this preparedness mindset or believe that they should just buy a bunch of gear, but training. There's a whole slew of guys out there that have knowledge, especially even in the tribe, man. And I'm not saying everything has to be shooting, dude. There's people that can share valuable information with you. I mean, it could be mechanics. It could be growing food. It could be all these different things. Everything that you can learn is of value. Not everything is about shooting, because if I was to develop my perfect survival team, I wouldn't have 10 guys like me, because then I need doctors. I need people that know medical stuff. I need people that know how to grow food, all these sort of things, specialists in these different areas. And we have that in the tribe. There's a whole slew of guys with knowledge out there. And good on you, Larry, for being in the tribe and training. Jay, thanks again, buddy. Know your freshwater sources. Yeah, know all those things. And I've talked about this kind of stuff before, as far as putting together a package, like especially for your family, putting together a binder. That way you have like where all the various resources in your local area are, maps and all those sort of things, because a lot of people depend on this. The problem is this thing can go down, EMP strike. You need to have this stuff printed out. The internet is free right now and it exists. Print that stuff out, get a hardbound binder with those clear sheets. That way it can protect the paper, and put those things in there. That way you have all that information together. Okay. Anyway, guys, I do appreciate you hanging out with me. I wanted to share this information with you because it's super important. And guys, please like, share, comment, and go get some Jase Medical, man. It saved my eye this weekend. So anyway, guys, remember to stay frosty, stay strapped, and always stay dangerous. Take care.